Today we're going to begin our new module, which is Module 3, and we're going to begin our study of Lesson 1, which we're going to be doing over the next couple days. Our objective for today's lesson is to study commutativity to find known facts of 6, 7, 8, and 9. The materials needed for today are your online whiteboard, your whiteboard dry erase marker and dry eraser. So what we're going to be looking at today first is a multiplication chart. So here I have one that's been partially filled in, and we're going to use facts that we already know to fill in the rest. Okay, so how a multiplication chart works is you can see numbers 1 through 10 on this side and 1 through 10 on this side. And what you would do is if you are trying to find 2 times 1, you would follow the 2 down until you got to the 1 spot, and where they meet is your answer, okay? So 2 times 1 is 2, all right? And we know that 2 groups of 1 equals 2. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill in this chart. I'm going to ask you to do some participation along the way, but first I'm just going to kind of show you how it works. So here in the first row, we're going to start with what we already know. We have already learned how to multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. So we can fill in all those rows already with what we've learned. So first we're going to start with row 1, where we're just skip counting by ones, which isn't really skip counting, it's just normal counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The next row is multiplying by 2. We know when we're multiplying by 2, we're actually skip counting by 2. So we're going to skip count by 2's. 2, then the 4 is there for us already. 6, the 8 is there. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, the next one we're going to do is 3's. Now, if you don't have your 3's memorized yet, remember, you can always just count 3 fingers, okay? So the first one's going to be 3. And then you could count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Our 18 is there already. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so now we're at the 4's, which is skip counting by 4's. I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple minutes, and I want you to skip count by 4's 10 times. So what that means is I want you to write down on your whiteboard all of the numbers that will fill in these blanks, okay? So you're going to go ahead and do that on your whiteboards. If you're one of my face-to-face classes, you're going to just hold that up when you're done for me to see. And if you are online, you are going to be holding that up to the camera, and I will mark you off for your participation. So go ahead. I'm going to give you at least 2 minutes. Skip count by 4's on your whiteboard 10 times to show me all the numbers that are going to go in the next row. Okay, if you haven't held your whiteboard up yet, go ahead and hold your whiteboard up to at least show how far that you got. And let's go ahead and see if your answers match mine. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Counting by fours. Next row we're going to do is one we also know already, which is counting by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and we end with 50. Now, because we haven't learned how to do 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s yet, I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to go all the way down to 10s. I'm going to skip count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the commutative property to help us fill in some of the other spaces that we don't know yet for 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so what commutativity is, if you remember from Module 1, okay, remember that in multiplication, we can take the two numbers and we can switch them and the answer stays the same. So for example, if we have 2 times 3, that equals 6. Well, if we switch it to 3 times 2, it will still be 6. So you can see that no matter which one we look at, 3 times 2 or 2 times 3, both answer spots have a 6 in it, okay? Because whether we have 2 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 6, we will still have 6 objects total. So we're going to use that, what we know about commutativity, and now we're going to do our up and down columns to fill in as much as we can with what we know. So we're going to start up here at the ones. You can see we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and our 10 is there already. Next, we're going to skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and the 20 is there already. Next is by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and the 30s there already. Next is our skip count by 4s. So if you still have that on your whiteboard, you can look along, and yours should match what I have. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Next, skip counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Now we can go all the way over to 10, count by 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Now you can see that most of our multiplication chart is filled out by something we already know. So really, when we're learning how to multiply by 6, 7, 8, and 9, we're only learning these new products, okay, or these new answers. It's really not that much new. And now we're going to use the strategy that we already know, which is our fingers and skip counting to solve what goes in this box right here, okay? So let's start by 6s. You can see our count is 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Now, because we have the commutative property, we can take these numbers we already figured out and go down the 6 this way. So after 36 will be a 42, so that'll go in this next spot. And then this 48. And then the 54. Okay. So just by learning our 6s, we know all of those facts, and that leaves us with a little less to learn for 7, 8, and 9. So if we're skip counting by 7s, it's going to be 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. And we would end at 70. Now we can use what we know to follow our 7 column the other way, going all the way down. So after 49 is our 56. And then our 63. And now, if we've learned our 7s to learn our 8 and our 9s, we even have less to learn. So we're going to start with our 8s. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. And then our last one would be 80. Then we're going to follow the 8 down the other way after 64 is 72. So if we've learned all our multiplication facts except our 9s, we really only have one new fact to learn. Okay? So if we're counting by 9s, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, I want you to write down on your whiteboard and hold it up. What number is going to go in this very last box? Skip counting by 9s. Okay, so if you're at 72 and we have to do 9 more, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. So 81 would be filling in that last box. Okay. Now, this obviously is a lot of work to do every time you need help with your multiplication tables, but what's nice is if I want to know 6 times 6, I could follow this 6 all the way over to where this 6 meets, and my answer is 36. Okay, so it is helpful as you're still learning your facts. And if you do go to your classroom resources, you will see that I put a color-coded multiplication chart in there for you to use if needed. Although I do want you to still practice your skip counting to find your answers. So we're going to go ahead and switch to your homework, which is going to be your IXL. It's IXL skill G5, which is your multiplication tables for 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if you see something like this example, which is 1 times 8, you would just count by 8s one time, which is 8, and fill in your answer. Okay, go ahead and get started.